Alright, this bike is just pissing me off. It died on me on the little shakedown ride when I lost the clutch, and I have not been able to get it to restart since. It seems to be having some very strange electrical problems, and I've gone through and tested and retested again and checked to make sure that A, it's in time. That's not an issue. We proved that. And done more and more reading and research on the differences between the ST2, ST3, ST4, and ST4s, which this is, and learned that my injectors and the coils for the spark plugs run off of the same circuit as the fuel pump. So all three of those systems get their power from the same source. And they all also rely on the same, well, except for the fuel pump, rely on the same safety triggers. The side stand switch, which I've proven does work. It will not even spin over if the switch is down. It doesn't seem to care whether the on-off switch is on or off to spin over, but before it was working just fine as far as spark and injection. So it's just, you hear that? We've got pressure, so it's not priming up more. That's it. That's what it do. It don't do nothing else. Now we're not getting fuel pump kicking on, so I wonder if we just have a bad relay, but that doesn't make sense because that has been pretty much steady, no problems. We've just had a weird intermittent issue with the power going to the injectors, and really I haven't even tested the coils yet. I've been stuck on fighting with the injectors. So I think I'm going to grab my tripod, wherever I stuck it, and set the phone on that. So give me just a minute here. Alright. Recording again. I think I'm going to pull this and swap it for its next door neighbor, so they are the same relay. I've already done this a few times with no real results, but hey, maybe, you never know. Alright, now we have fuel pump again. Only once. Okay, so what we're going to do is some electrical testing and just see if we're still getting power from the feed side out from the relay once I kick the ignition on. Hey, my freaking, there we go, turn that off. My illumination thing was on there. Alright, so I need to pull this connector. Come on out of there. There we go. Fire up the old multimeter here. Select DC. Go to volts range. Test. We're only showing 9.2 something volts. That's not good. Is it the meter or is it the battery that weak? There we go. Now we're at 12.3. I'm going to stuff that in here. We got good ground. We got good ground. I think I might have to pull a little red clipping my bobber, yeah, out of the way so that I can get my test probe in dar. Alright. Checking, and we had 12 volts to the coil until the relay kicked off. So that part of the circuit is working. So what we're going to have to do is test the injector circuit to see what it is doing. We've got to lift the tank and pull the air box out of the way for that. But fortunately I already have it loose. Right there. Alright. Alright. Injector. Connector removed. We'll check it while it's unplugged and off and see what's going on. Okay, and now I'm going to give it switch on. .9 volts, so almost 2 volts, and that's all that the injector circuit is getting. That is not what it needs. It needs the 12 volts. And let's check the other side here. .98 volts. Alright, so that does not make any sense. We have an issue with power going to the injectors for some reason. Now obviously with so little voltage getting to the injectors, they are not going to fire, which will obviously keep it from running. So what I'm going to have to do is basically I'm going to have to strip the harness back open to find where feed power splits off from the fuel pump circuit and where it goes and splits off to the coils, and see what's going on there, whether there's some corrosion or weak connection or what the hell's going on, and rebuild the harness, because the relay is checking out, the PCM is checking out, the coils are checking out. I need to check on that side just to verify, but I mean the one side was okay, so there should be no reason for this side to have a problem, but we will verify. Trust but verify. And we need the brown side. And we need power on. Alright. Well, it kicked on, and then it kicked back off. That's interesting. That doesn't make any sense. Unless I do have an issue with that relay after all. Well, no, that doesn't make any sense, because why would both of them fail the same way? And that's still, even if the relay is bad, that doesn't explain why we're getting good voltage when it kicks on to the fuel pump and good voltage when it kicks on to the ignition coils. That math ain't mathin'. So it's like there has to be an issue somewhere with the harness. And now it seems like something is going on where the fuel pump is only kicking on intermittently. This is so aggravating, fighting with this freaking thing. And there, I guess day before yesterday, I did test the leads for the injectors on the ground side against battery, and cycled it and watched, and the PCM was switching and making the ground. You know, as it would cycle, and it was trying to command signal for these to close the circuit. So that seems to be functioning. Alright, so I guess I got to dig into the harness, and that's what's going on with this thing. And if I can't find a problem with the harness that makes sense, I'm probably just going to bust this thing up into parts and sell it off. I'm about at my breaking point and done. Not having any issues with the immobilizer that I can tell. It has been doing its normal thing. Well, actually now, there we go. Yeah, the little light flashes like it's supposed to. Now it's not kicking on and then shutting off. That's weird. May just be, there we go. That was kind of weird. It's not, you know, illuminating and staying solid, so that's a good sign. Kind of a weak flash there. Maybe I was just at a wrong angle. All the fuses check out, they're good. No issues with them. And obviously if the fuel pump fuse was, you know, there was a problem with it, then the fuel pump wouldn't be kicking on, and it runs on the same circuit as the injectors and the coils. So, yeah. So, there's that. Anybody else have any ideas?